Hello guys and welcome to the second episode of Discovering Lost Ark. Today we're going to talk about the PvP in the game. I'm going to give you all the basics, and together in this video we're going to be discovering the PvP in Lost Ark, what the game has to offer in that field. If you're new to my content, if you're new to my channel, if you've just found me on YouTube searching Lost Ark or whatnot, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I upload regularly, and this year I'm planning to cover Lost Ark for the foreseeable future, so there's gonna be a lot more Lost Ark content, yeah? Cool. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well. Now let's get going in the business, guys. We're gonna start off on my warlord character because I have not played this class very much in PvP, so I can show you the beginning stages of PvP in Lost Ark right after you get to max level, which is 50. While we're loading in, let me tell you the modes that you can play PvP in. So PvP in Lost Ark is 6-man PvP if you want to do instanced organized PvP, and besides the instanced organized PvP there is also open world PvP, which is done very simply on these islands. There are islands that are open to PvP. You can go there and you can kill other players while they do their quests, while they kill mobs, or while they try to get the heart of the island, whatever. In Korea, nobody bothers you. In the West, I'm not sure what's gonna happen if and when this game comes to the West. The last mode of PvP in Lost Ark are duels. Duels are pretty kappa in Lost Ark because there is a sphere that forms around the duel area, and it is transparent, and you can also walk out of it or push someone out of it. And most of these classes in Lost Ark have pushes or throws or charges that take the player with them. So if you've pushed the guy out of the sphere of dueling, then that duel is won for you and lost for him. So it's pretty kappa, it's pretty pointless. Also, gear matters very much in terms of duels and open world PvP on those islands. It doesn't matter as much in the arena, but we're gonna talk about that right away. So PvP in Lost Ark, guys, in terms of instanced PvP, because we're gonna focus on that in this video, you can have unranked and you can play ranked. Now, my warlord cannot play ranked because I haven't went through all of the initiation stages, let's call them like that you need to go as a fresh 50. So you need to start off here, and as you unlock these tiers, as you win or lose, you get points towards unlocking these tiers, however you want to call them. You also unlock these runes. These runes are class-specific runes made for each class individually. This rune for me might be different for a gunner, or this rune for me might be different for a bard, and so on and so forth. Yeah, cool. They are very important. They give you the finishing touches of your skill build, of your PvP build. You have your skill build in terms of skills, and you also have your rune build right here. When you've reached this rank here, it doesn't take very many unranked matches to get here. You've unlocked this rune first of all, and also the possibility of unlocking your first preset. When you get here, you unlock your second preset, and when you unlock this, you unlock your third rune preset, and also you can queue up for ranked PvP when you get here to rank 1. Yeah, cool. These rune presets you can only use obviously one at a time, and they do very nice things for your class, and the way you spec them is according to the way you play or according to the type of arena that you do. If you do 3v3 at the same time, 2 separate teams, all of you in the arena, the most kills wins. The team with the most kills wins, which is this mode right here. You might want a specific set of runes. If you do very much this mode, which is 1v1 v1 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 in 2 separate teams, my first plays with their first. If my first wins, stays in the arena, plays with their second. If he's so good, wins 2 duels, then he plays with the third as well. You might want to spec a different kind of rune for that. This mode in the middle is pretty bullshitty. I will never do it again. I've done one match on another class. It is a free-for-all, 6-man, all of us in the same time in the arena. I personally didn't enjoy it. It's kind of like a chaos dungeon, a chaos arena in Aeon. Didn't like it at all, but maybe for some particular classes or people this might actually be fun. Yeah, for the unranked 3v3 you can queue up for 1 to 3 people, so you can queue up with your friends unranked. For this mode you can queue up only solo, and for this mode you can queue up again either solo, 2 or 3 people, so you can have a full team versus another 3 people if you want to practice that or have fun or whatnot. For the ranked, we're gonna talk about ranked right away. Actually, I'm gonna swap characters right now so I can show you the ranked version and continue the video. While we're doing the swap, I would like to talk about what matters in PvP in Lost Ark and why I absolutely love doing PvP in Lost Ark. It is a very nice system. I like almost all of the ideas that they have behind the PvP system, and very satisfied when I play it, because it gives you a very satisfying feeling when you finally get it, when you finally play it right, and when you finally start winning. So I absolutely love it. Let me talk about what matters in PvP. It's not as fair 100% like in Guild Wars, but it's not as trashy as it is in Aeon, with gear that gives you PvP stats and enchants that gives you PvP stats and so on and so forth, right? It's somewhere in a nice middle, yeah? I really appreciate that. So how much does gear matter in PvP? It matters. I'm not gonna say it matters a lot, and I'm not gonna say it matters very few, because it just matters. It's again somewhere in a nice middle. So how it works is the game scales you up when you enter these organized PvP arenas, yeah? So if the game scales you up, that means everyone gets more HP and a little bit more stats and a little bit more mana and so on and so forth, yeah? That's pretty good. However, on top of what the game gives you, people that have very good gear, they get extra. So let me give you myself as an example, and another destroyer class with an item level of 500 as an example, yeah? This is a very bad item level. These are pretty bad items that I'm wearing. This is just beginner level 50 gear, and the destroyer that has 500 gear, he has worked quite a lot for his gear. Now I enter the arena, I have 16k HP when I queue up for any of these modes, yeah? And he enters the arena, he also has 16k HP, but on top of the 16k, his strength and vitality give him more attack and more HP. So he's not gonna have 16k, he's gonna have, I don't know, 18, 19k HP compared to me, because of his item level and because of the stats that his item give him. So the difference is not extremely high. The more gear you have, the fewer you basically get, let's say, from the game, and because of that, a player that has an item level of 440, he's not going to feel almost any difference playing versus a guy that has 490. You understand what I'm saying? A player like me with 279 is not gonna feel any difference if I play versus a guy that's 300, 310. If I play versus a guy that's already at 390, then yes, I am going to start feeling a difference. I'm gonna do fewer damage to him, and he's gonna have more HP for his particular class because his stats are gonna be higher, and he's gonna do more damage to me. So when I get caught with my pants down, or when I make a small mistake, I'm gonna suffer a lot for it. What matters more than gear in Lost Ark is your skill, playing the game, playing your class, your skill build, your rune build, and your ping. These things, all of these things, matter more than focusing on gear. Now, gear in Lost Ark, I'm not gonna get into it very much in this video because I'm gonna have another Discovering Lost Ark in which I'm gonna talk about gear. Gear you can get from all sorts of places, and there's no PvP gear with PvP stats. Also, there is no bullshit in the game. That's why I love PvP so much, is because there is no pots, there is no foods, there is no mobs, there is no BS, guys. It's just you, your skill, your gear versus him, his skill, his gear, and that's about it. There is no interference. I really appreciate it, and a big thumbs up for me to whoever designed the PvP system in Lost Ark, yeah? Let's talk a little bit about the rewards that you get from PvP, guys, and after that we're gonna talk about the shitty side of PvP in Lost Ark. The rewards are PvP tokens and fun and experience, yeah? So the PvP tokens, you can use them in this merchant right here. This guy is selling you a variety of goods, for PvP tokens. Yeah, on the second tab you have boxes with gear. It's not PvP gear, it's just gear from PvP. If you just want to do PvP all day, which is definitely not advised if you just hit 50 and you have 250 item level, so you should still grind some PvE or some form of gear to get you to 330 or 350 before you can start just staying and looking at this notice board to queue up. But if you just want to do PvP all day, you can basically just do that and just get these tokens, get this gear, and then you upgrade this gear, you make it better when your item level is 385, which is a very pleasant item level to be at, by the way, in terms of how you feel compared to any guy that's 400, 450, 4, I don't know, 460, and obviously lower than you. That's really nice. You can just get the tier 2 version of the PvP gear. Yeah, this is with the tokens, all sorts of goods, all sorts of upgrade goods you can get from that merchant, and so on and so forth. Other thing that the PvP gives you in the ranked version, this is how the ranking board looks at the moment in Korea. This is how it looks translated, the first page. Lots of bards, lots of warlords in the top 10. It is how it is. This is how Koreans play. It doesn't mean it's gonna be the same when and if Lost Ark comes to the West. Yeah. The rewards from playing ranked PvP, by the way guys, ranked PvP in Lost Ark, I almost wanted to say Guild Wars, ranked PvP in Lost Ark is seasonal. So you have seasons like in Guild Wars. From this month to that month, there's a 2-month period when there's a season in terms of PvP. Everyone queues for ranked. Obviously, if you don't have 279 item level like myself, if you're better by that time. And the rewards are purely cosmetic. If you want to show your big dick because you're number 1 in PvP, you're in the first 13 people that get this rating here, then you're gonna get a really nice looking mount. The same mount, only different color if you're gonna be in platinum or diamond, whatever this is, and everything else is just cosmetics for your characters to show that you have done good in the season of PvP. I absolutely like PvP in Lost Ark. I'm gonna say it again. I think it's the 3rd time in this video, guys, but it is how it is. I enjoy it, and as long as you get to understand the game, it's not hard to do PvP. It's not a tough system. It's not a hard to understand system, but it is hard enough for you to think a couple of days, hey, okay, shall I do this differently? Shall I do this right? Am I doing this wrong? And so on and so forth. So it's a little bit intriguing, yeah? Cool. Guys, I think that's everything except the shitty parts. Now the shitty parts, I'm only going to talk about queuing up for PvP. The queuing system for arena PvP in Lost Ark is very bad. You can only queue for PvP from these notice boards right here, and these notice boards are only in major towns. There is no notice board in this town when you're questing, for example. So you have to be in a major town and you just have to stay here fucking AFK looking at this notice board for the rest of your life, because you cannot do anything while you're queued up. So let's say I'm gonna just queue up for this 3v3 and I just wanna go. I just wanna explore the world. If I change map, it's gonna cancel the queue. If I go on my boat, it's gonna cancel the queue. If I mistakenly time my escape key bad when I'm browsing, for example, the potions merchant, or if I wanna go to my warehouse to check my things because I'm bored in the queue, and I press escape to exit the warehouse instead of pressing this button, which is the exit button, but it's more comfortable to press escape. If I time it unfortunately right, then I'm just gonna cancel my queue, and then I have to go back to that panel and queue up again, because there is no way to queue up for PvP except if you're in town looking at this panel for the rest of your life. This is very annoying. It's 2019. Games should not have these kinds of ideas. This is a forced grindy, I don't know, BS, if you ask me. It shouldn't happen like that. You should be able to queue from anywhere in the world. You should be able to queue at least from anywhere in the town. You shouldn't be able to cancel your queue with pressing escape. That's also another thing. And by the time my queue is going to pop, if I want to go here to this place right here, I teleport here. If I accept the queue, do the match and then exit, I'm going to be ported out right next to the notice board that I was talking about, because that's how the game works. When your match is finished, you get ported out where you applied for it. So that is a little bit annoying, and not quite sure why that's in the game, but that's my only negative thing that I want to say about PvP in Lost Ark. Obviously, when gear is kinda equal like it is in Lost Ark, kinda, not really, but kinda, then in that case classes have some problems, right? When gear doesn't matter, then you see the class imbalance a lot more. In Guild Wars, for example, class imbalance is a real issue. In Lost Ark, class imbalance is not as big of an issue as in Guild Wars, and that is because gear also helps. So if a class is, let's say, really terrible at PvPing, then if that guy has 500 item levels and he only gets me with 250s or other peasants like myself, then that guy is gonna feel quite good on his class. He's gonna be like, wow, look how much damage I do to those people. You understand? I'm doing pretty good on my class. And the other extreme example is Aeon, yeah, where gear matters so much, you don't even see the class imbalance if there is any, because anyone with a lot of gear can feel very good versus anyone with fewer gear than them, and or no gear at all. So you don't really notice, hey, is a ranger overpowered, is a Sin overpowered, is an SM overpowered, because some SMs get destroyed by some Chandras with a lot of gear. So it is how it is. In Lost Ark, again, it's somewhere in the middle, in between Guild Wars and Aeon. And that's about everything I wanted to talk about PvP today, guys. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up. Next video coming up is Hold My Pretzel, which is my Lost Ark PvP series, in which I show you some PvP gameplay of my experiences on the Korean servers in PvP. That's coming up on Wednesday, and then on Sunday we have another episode of discovering Lost Ark. And that's about it, guys, for today. I wish you lots of love as always, and I'm gonna see you very soon.